Hello everyone. Today I am here to discuss compound stress. To explain the compound stress, I have taken one case, that is, a member is subjected to direct stresses into mutually perpendicular directions accompanied by shear stresses. I will find out the normal and the tangential stresses on any inclined plane on this member because of these three stresses, that is two normal stresses and a shear stresses. Now, in order to explain it, I have taken one rectangular bar ABCD of uniform cross-sectional area having thickness unity. So these are the stresses acting on BC and AD phase sigma x, and these stresses are tensile in nature. Similarly, in the y direction, I have taken two stresses also in tensile, sigma y acting on the phase CD and AB. Then Q is the shear stresses acting on the phase BC and AD. On the phase BC, it is downward. On the phase AD, it is upward. Now these stresses, I'll take all the stresses as positive stresses. That is tensile stresses I am taking positive, and the shear that is producing on this member I am taking as positive shear. Now, because of this shear stresses acting on the phase BC and AD, there will be complementary shear stress of magnitude Q will also act on the phase CD and AB. Now this is the inclined plane. We'll call it as oblique plane CE, which makes an angle theta with the BC plane. Now we'll find out the normal and the tangential stresses on the oblique plane and perpendicular to the oblique plane. Along the plane, we'll find out that will be the tangential stress, and perpendicular to the plane, the stresses that we will find perpendicular to the plane of CE, that will be our normal stresses. Now, first of all, we will find out the forces produced because of these stresses on different planes. Suppose tensile force on face BC due to the tensile stress sigma x. This sigma x is acting on face BC. Now because of this stress sigma x, there will be a force on this plane BC. Now we know stress multiplied by the area is the force. So here the area will be BC length multiplied by the thickness. Since the thickness already we have taken as unity, so the force acting on this BC will be sigma x multiplied by BC simply. Similarly, tensile force on EB due to the tensile stress sigma y is sigma y multiplied by EB. Sigma y is the stress and EB is the length. Because I have taken EBC is the wedge on which these stresses are acting. Then shear force on face BC due to shear stress. Shear stress is Q acting on BC in downward direction. Because of this shear stress, shear force will be produced on the face BC, and that is equal to Q multiplied by BC because the thickness is unity. Again, shear force on EB. Shear force on EB because of the Q's shear stress, it will be Q multiplied by EB. Very simple, because we have to multiply this Q with EB as the thickness is unity. Now I have taken this EBC separately to show these forces acting in different directions. This is sigma x into BC acting perpendicular to the BC plane. This is sigma y into AB acting perpendicular to EB plane. This is Q multiplied by BC acting vertically downward in CB plane. This is Q multiplied by EB horizontally acting along the plane EB. So these are the forces acting on the wedge EBC. Now we have to resolve this all the forces along the CE plane and perpendicular to the CE plane. See, so these are the forces acting on the wedge EBC in different directions. This is the plane FG, which is perpendicular to the plane CE. So we have one CE plane, oblique plane, which makes an angle theta with the plane BC, and FG is the plane perpendicular to the CE plane. Now we'll resolve the forces. Now before resolving force C, from the triangle ABC, we know the cos theta is equal to BC divided by EC. BC is the base, EC is the hypotenuse, and sin theta is equal to EB divided by EC. EB is the perpendicular, EC is the hypotenuse. Again, some trigonometric relations that we will use later on. The cos square theta is equal to, we know, 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2. Sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta divided by 2. And sine of 2 theta is equal to 2 times of sin theta cos theta. So this thing we'll use later on. Now the angle C, the sigma x into BC makes an angle theta with the plane FG, and sigma y EB makes an angle theta with the plane CE. These things you can easily understand from the geometry of the wedge EBC. Now we are going to resolve the forces. First, the force is sigma x into BC. Since the sigma x is x multiplied by BC, makes an angle theta with the FG line. So if you resolve the sigma x into BC along the line FG, it will be sigma x multiplied by BC. And if you resolve this force along EC, it will be sigma x BC sin theta. Now you come to the force sigma y into EB. Sigma y EB makes an angle theta with the CE line. So if I resolve this force along the FG, it will be sigma y EB sin theta, and along CE it will be sigma y EB cos theta. Then I am resolving the shear forces. First one is Q into BC acting vertically downward, Q into BC acting vertically downward, sigma y into EB acting horizontally. So horizontally means it is acting along this line, and vertically means it is acting along y axis. So see, this is Q into EB cos theta, Q into EB, Q multiplied by EB cos theta. QEB is a horizontal force, so you just think the force is here. So QEB makes an angle theta with the FG, so it is QEB into cos theta, and here it is QEB into sin theta. Then QBC makes an angle theta with the CE line, CE plane. So when you will resolve the forces along FG, it will be QBC sin theta, and along CE it is QBC cos theta. So these are the forces acting on FG plane and the CE plane. FG is the plane perpendicular to our oblique plane CE. Okay, now total normal force. Total normal force means 1 minute. Total normal force. These are the total normal force, and the direction of these 4 normal forces are same. So we'll take all the forces as positive forces. So I have written sigma x BC cos theta, this one, sigma y EB sin theta, this one, Q BC sin theta, this one, Q BC sin theta, and then Q EB cos theta, then Q EB cos theta. So these are the normal forces. Now normal stress on the plane EC, normal stress on the plane EC, it will be total normal force on the plane EC, that is this one, divided by the area EC, EC multiplied by the thickness of the plane, thickness is unity. So total normal force I have taken sigma x BC cos theta, sigma y EB sin theta, Q BC sin theta, Q EB cos theta divided by EC. Total normal force divided by the area. Now what I have done, I put the EC term, this EC sigma x BC multiplied by AC means I have divided all this individual term by EC. I have divided all this individual term divided by EC. So BC upon EC, EB upon EC, BC upon EC, EB upon EC. And we know what is BC upon EC. BC upon EC is cos theta. So I'll put it here cos theta. EB upon EC, EB upon EC sin theta. So I'll put here sin theta. BC upon EC again is cos theta. So I'll put here cos theta. And EB upon EC is sin theta. So I'll put here sin theta. So after putting, the equation becomes this: sigma x cos square theta plus sigma y sin square theta plus 2q cos theta sin theta. Now I'll replace this cos square theta as 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2. Sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta divided by 2. I replace this cos square theta by this term, sin square theta by this term. And q 2 cos theta sin theta. Now 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to sin of 2 theta. So I can write here sin of 2 theta. This term is sin of 2 theta, q sin of 2 theta. So sigma x plus, if I simplify this equation, I am getting sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus sigma x minus sigma y by 2 cos 2 theta plus q sin 2 theta. So this is the equation of normal stress acting on the oblique plane CE. Now I'll find out the tangential stress. Tangential stress means stress acting along the CE plane. Okay. So these are the forces that already I discussed acting along the CE plane and FG plane. These are some geometrical consideration. Now tangential force on plane EC. Tangential force on plane EC. What are these forces? See, this one is upward, this one is upward. So I am taking it positive. Sigma x BC sin theta, sigma x BC sin theta positive, q EB sin theta, q EB sin theta is positive. This is negative force, my q BC cos theta. So I have taken minus q BC cos theta and sigma y EB cos theta minus sigma y EB cos theta. Two force upward positive, two force downward negative. Okay. Then the tangential stress on the plane EC, that is sigma t, that is noted by sigma t, and this is equal to tangential force divided by EC, So these are the tangential force, divided by EC. Then what I have done, I have divided each individual term by EC. So here BC upon EC, EB upon EC, BC upon EC, EB upon EC. And the term BC upon EC is cos theta. So I put cos theta. Then EB upon EC is sin theta. So it is sin theta. Then BC upon EC cos theta. So cos theta. EB upon EC is sin theta, sin theta. So ultimately I am getting sigma x minus sigma y sin theta cos theta. I have taken sin theta cos theta common here. I have taken common sin theta cos theta, sigma x minus sigma y minus q cos square theta plus q sin square theta. And after simplification, it is sigma x minus sigma y by 2 sin theta cos theta. 2 times of sin theta cos theta is 2 times of sin theta cos theta. 2 times of sin theta cos theta is sin of 2 theta. So sin of 2 theta. So 2, 1, 2 here. So 2 cancel. It will remain same. Minus q cos square theta minus sin square theta. I have taken q common. So cos square theta minus sin square theta. And again cos square theta minus sin square theta is cos of 2 theta. So finally I am getting sigma x minus sigma y by 2 sin of 2 theta minus q cos 2 theta. So these are the expression for tangential stress and the shear stress acting on an oblique plane because of the sigma x, sigma y and sigma z. Q is the shear stress. Now here's the conclusion. Okay, because of the stress sigma x, sigma y and q, The normal stress acting on an oblique plane is this: sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus sigma x minus sigma y by 2 cos of 2 theta plus q sine 2 theta, where q is the shear stress, sigma x, sigma y are the two mutually perpendicular stresses, and the sigma t tangential stress, sigma x minus sigma y by 2 sine 2 theta minus q cos 2 theta. Now, the above expression has been derived considering normal stresses as tensile in nature. If compressive stress acts in any direction, then take the negative value in the expression. Means suppose the sigma y is compressive, then here it will be minus, here it will be minus, minus plus. Here it will be minus, minus plus. Also, in the expression, shear stress Q taken positive for this type of shear. I am taking it positive. Now, if any member subjected to opposite shear, that is this one, we will take the value of Q as negative in the expression. Now, next point, if only normal stresses acting on a member with no shear stress, then we have to put Q is equal to 0 in both the expression. And also in another case also, if only uniaxial stresses are there, then suppose only sigma x is there, so you put the values of sigma y 0 in the expression. Or if you find there are no normal stresses, only shear stresses are there, so sigma x 0, sigma y 0. Means these two expressions are very important. From these two expressions, you can find out the expression for uniaxial stress, biaxial stress, or only pure shear, what will be the normal stress, and tangential stress acting on an oblique plane. So with this, I have completed today's lecture, and next I'll discuss the principal stress, principal plane, and the maximum shear stress. Thank you very much.